Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Layla and today I'm basically doing like my true crime and tea time, but I'm doing it a little bit differently. So I got a new job, I'm really busy and I couldn't just like sit down in front of my camera to talk about this. So I decided that I'm going to do just like a voiceover with photos. Like, I'm sorry if you don't like those kind of videos. My next video will be different, I promise. But yeah, today I wanted to do like, this is another reason because I wanted to get this video out like really quick because it's happening right now, and I think as much as it's important to look at previous cases, it's also important to keep up on things and, you know, see what's going on with them. So yeah, it's been in the news that they have an update on the Madeleine McCann case. And in fact, the prosecutors have claimed that the case could be solved in months, which is like absolutely insane. If you don't know about Madeleine McCann, she was a 3-year-old girl who went missing on the 3rd of May 2007 in Praia de Luz. Butchered that, haven't I? In the Algarve in Portugal. I'm sure you've heard about her. On the very off chance that you haven't, I'm not really going into like the backstory here. There's a lot of videos on her. There's a Netflix documentary on her. There's news articles. It's everywhere. But yeah, so last year, German police announced that 43-year-old Christian Bruckner, I think that's how you pronounce it. I'll just be going as Christian B. They named him as their prime suspect for the case. He was a convicted P-word, I can't say it on YouTube. He was sentenced to 7 years in prison for R-wording a woman in Portugal in 2005. And at the time of Madeleine's disappearance, he was actually living in a camper van close to Praia de Luz, and his phone also pinged near to the resort. So apparently he made a phone call, but police haven't sort of said whether they know who that phone call was to or what it was about. But it's known that he has this history and he was in the area at the time of her disappearance. He, however, denies being involved and he refuses to speak to police, although allegedly a criminal associate of his who was arrested in Greece said that he had basically like bragged about having abducted a 3-year-old girl. So you've got these two different sides. One of his friends, I use quotation marks, says that he has been talking about it, but he refuses to speak. However, it's recently been sort of told, you know, that Christian B has actually been under investigation for 4 years. But obviously, like I said, it was only public knowledge last year that he was a suspect. I can only assume that's to like stop any interference, you know, until they're certain. But it has come out in the news that a psychic knows the whereabouts of her remains, and the police are actually investigating his claims. So this guy is called Michael Schneider, and he's actually solved other cases in Europe in a similar way, including the case of a missing woman who was found hanging from a tree just 36 hours after she went missing, and a murdered couple of Peter Neumayer and Laura Parcelli, which was in Italy in January. And Peter's sister even says she thinks it's worth the police to try and follow his lead because it obviously worked with her brother. She actually thinks that it's worth following for Madeleine McCann as well. Now, Schneider claims that Madeleine's body is that she's dead, unfortunately, and that she's buried in Portugal, northeast of Lagos, and he's actually given the police like exact coordinates. This location is 6 miles away from the holiday apartment that she disappeared from, so really not that far when you think about it, considering like it's literally been a worldwide search. and a senior German prosecutor called Hans Christian Walters has confirmed that the police have previously used clairvoyance in cases, and they've received like really specific information in some cases. So obviously like these people have been right. Her parents, Kate and Jerry McCann, believe she's still alive. You know, they're hoping. But Schneider says, I do not give out such information lightly and without constantly questioning myself, because I am very well aware of the responsibility of what I do. He says that he looks at the photo of the missing person and asks God if they are alive or dead. He then looks over general areas on maps, and then kind of zones in on Google Maps and Google Earth, and then lets his fingers and eyes circle the maps until they stop and like mark the point of where the body is. But so basically I was going to do this video. I was just going to, you know, kind of put all the information that I found from like several news articles into one video, so it's a bit easier for people to kind of get all the information. And then my boyfriend, you know what, my boyfriend was joking. He was like, imagine, not joking, but you know, he was like, imagine if this guy was the guy that did it. And I was like, oh no, that's ridiculous. Like if he solved other cases. And he was like, yeah, but he could be a serial killer. And I was like, I doubt it, because like why would you be like so stupid? But then he found this Facebook like screenshot. He screenshotted me something from Facebook that was like the picture of this clairvoyant and the original sketch that the police released of the suspect, and they're side by side, and I'm not gonna lie, it looks similar. So obviously I went and found this person's Facebook. Facebook is obviously not a credible source, but I'm just nosy, so I went and had a look, and then I looked through the comments, and this girl commented, and she was like, I literally already said this and you've just stole what I've said. And she'd posted a TikTok, which I will insert now.
The guy who thinks he knows where the body of Madeleine McCann is. The sketch of the abductor. Do you think I'm crazy?
So like, yeah, I have like some questions, obviously. Like I said, Facebook is not a credible source, neither is TikTok. I can see where they're coming from. Like, it's actually a little bit spooky. However, it would have meant that he hasn't aged since 2007. So like, how many years is that? 14 years? I think 14 years. I'm no good at maths. Over 10 years anyway. So he would have not aged. He would have like aged and then just stopped. I usually feel like if people just don't age very like quickly, that it's just a general thing. Do you get what I mean? And obviously like the picture of him shaved, I think that's a younger picture. So obviously like if this sketch comes out, then you would shave your hair and your moustache and whatever. But like I said, I just don't think that the age adds up, and I just genuinely do not believe that someone could be so stupid to like out themselves and then have an exact like point, and then they're the person that did it. Do you know what I mean? Because people would question, so why would you put yourself in that position and, you know, risk that? I don't know, but I just thought that was like really interesting. It was literally right before I wanted to like sort of do this, so I thought it would just be interesting to add it in at the end, see what people think. Let me know down below. Do you think, I mean, I personally don't think it would be him, but let me know your thoughts. Do you think it's him? I don't know, people could have other sort of theories. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, drop me a subscribe. I will be doing more updating videos on this. Obviously continuing my true crime and tea time. I've got a very interesting video soon coming up, and yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.